Okay, chat. This is the finals. Bohdan fan favorite against the player who went 12-0 in Swiss. Or 12-0. On 8-0 in Swiss and is currently undefeated. Cali, 1 hour south from Pasadena. Oh, sick. So I'll see you at Pasadena then, yeah? And everyone's like, Tommy William knows. Alright, this is the finals, chat. Here we go.
One of these duelists will be going home. The Yu-Gi-Oh!
So Bohdan is 7-1 in Swiss. Dino was 8-0 in Swiss. This will be a very close final.
I mean, this could go either way, Lucas. I have no idea who will come out the victor. Both players more than capable of taking this one home.
Yeah, these are both really, really incredible players. I'm sure we'll learn a lot just from watching them play it out against each other. Both also have a very good understanding of this Tearlament deck, I would say. Of course, we've seen both of these players on feature matches already, both winning their feature matches.
It's going to be a close finals. It's going to be a really close finals.
Thank you for joining us here. This is, as we said, the Oceanic Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship 2022. First Oceanic Championship in a little while.
Live from Auckland, New Zealand, we also thank Konami and Geek
Oh wait, Bohdan's got 5 wins, 1 loss and 2 draws.
Great event. Everyone here
has
had an absolute
That's crazy.
blast, and it all comes down to this.
I want to shout out as well. We've got the broadcast co running the stream here. Also want to shout out the judge team and everyone who's been helping us keep this thing running pretty smoothly today, I'd say.
Bohdan's just making sure that he's got all his cards correctly in the side deck and the main deck. You don't want to get any penalties in the finals. That's like the worst time to ever get a penalty. It's a 40-minute final, and the time has started already.
Completely correct. The last thing you want is to be issued a game loss.
At least they could have started it once they just drew their hands, you know?
Presenting decks.
The roll hasn't happened yet. Wait, knowing Dino, he'll win the roll because it's his tournament.
Oh, careful, Bohdan.
At least Bohdan's looking away, you know. Accidents do happen. But the time has already started. Yeah, a warning is fair here, because what if you did see something? It's unfair.
Definitely knows. And both these players have been playing a long day of Yu-Gi-Oh! Here.
It's unfair on the players.
A long weekend of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Well, especially the player that you flipped the cards over. Okay, so he's got an 8.
You know, they're rolling an 8. Bohdan with an 11.
Oh, Bohdan got an 11. Alright, okay. Here we go, chat.
Alright,
See a swap frog.
Will commence here.
So Bohdan open up with the branded of High Spirits.
Yeah, a card we saw on Bohdan's feature match, and once again proving that it is a fairly effective card.
Just so funny.
This
is so funny.
Right out of the gate here.
This is so funny.
Yeah. Placing both those cards back to the bottom of the extra deck.
Bohdan playing really fast here. Round has only just started.
I don't think he wants to lose time.
You know,
he doesn't want to go to time.
Super polymerization.
His version should win in the long run against his deck, so he doesn't want to go to time. He wants to shuffle the deck before he does.
Eradicate an epidemic virus, something we know he is playing in the main deck. Bohdan here thinking about what to get off the... Maybe discussing whether or not the deck should have been shuffled before placing those cards onto the bottom.
Now I was going to search from Kit.
I think it's fine.
Oh no, he did search the Albion.
Anyway.
Dino hasn't got any hand traps, so Bohdan's going to be able to do everything he wants to do. Bohdan's going to set up the Eradicator though. Cool spells most likely.
There's no reason to rush. This is finals. Have plenty of time. Activating Terraforming here. Fetching up the Tearlament Field spell, and activating Albion the Shrouded Dragon.
Again, another card that just replaces itself, puts one of the branded spells into the graveyard, puts itself on the bottom of the deck, and allows Bohdan to draw 1 card.
Effectively turning that branded and High Spirits into a card that costs almost nothing. Drawing off the top here. Finds it looks like a Danger Chupacabra.
Okay. We're going to activate his kit then. After finishing the deck. I mean, I'm actually against playing this. Unless you're going to get the Rhino card. Okay, you are getting that. Okay, that makes sense. So now you're increasing your odds now to trigger a 2-element monster that's going to
fusion. Danger Chupacabra. So here, Bohdan is probably looking to hit a Tearlament monster out of his hand. Instead
he
hits the
does.
Danger Chupacabra, which does not have a particularly advantageous effect. I believe it can...
It's happened in top 4 where Dino hit the
danger
Mothman.
from the graveyard. None there currently. Now activate Tearlament Shiren. Summons and then does manage to send a Merly from deck to graveyard, as with a Tearlament Rhino Heart from the hand.
Yeah, getting and gaining sort of full advantage out of that Sharon there.
Does indeed. We do know Dino is playing Nibiru in the main deck. I do not see that he has drawn one, though. One of the things he has to be afraid of in this matchup is that Eradicator Epidemic Virus. A card like Pot of Desires in his hand, very susceptible to a card like that. Though Bohdan has to be careful because Dino has also drawn Super Polymerization, so unless his Eradicator Epidemic Virus target, if he does make it, is Kaleido Heart, it could be taken off of the field before he is able to activate it.
Yeah, one of the things about super polymerization, obviously, not being able to respond to it and beat a quick play.
You need some Mud Dragon here, right?
Virus.
Yeah, you pretty much always get first action, but again, if Bohdan makes the Kaleido Heart, it's less of a problem for him, as that cannot be used as fusion material.
So we're going into Mud Dragon of the Swamp.
There it is, just flicking past that Eradicator Virus, as with Fairy Tale Snow. Choosing to send Tearlament Shiren off of the Rhino Heart here. Looking to get another fusion.
The finals, chat.
Bohdan here, just looking to get many monsters to the field here.
He is.
Looking towards that curious play, potentially, as you said, the
He could call Mud Dragon
Eradicator
into a dark,
Epidemic Virus.
so he can use it as a material.
Looking quite likely.
Is indeed.
He wants to mill 8 here.
Now he gets to mill the 8 cards collectively.
There goes the Albion. Zephyros the Elite.
Zephyros is busted here.
Valuable card to have in the graveyard. Sends 8 cards. Do not believe there were any fresh Tearlaments in there. Have activated Merly, have activated Rhino Heart this turn.
No Eradicator.
Zephyros the
So you
Elite.
got a choice.
Nice
Does he send Snow?
thing to pick up.
Or does he send Eradicator Virus?
It's like Bohdan going here for a Sprite Elf. Of course, Bohdan also does know that he's up against Tearlament, so it could just be prioritizing a card like Abyss Dweller here, not wanting to play into too many things. Sprite Elf.
Looking at the Blackwing in this graveyard there. Possibly bouncing the Sharon back to his hand to...
Yeah, if he intends to make a Abyss Dweller, there's no reason to leave the Shiren on field. You could use the Zephyros, but the Zephyros is also a pretty good card to just have in the graveyard, I would say.
He went Dweller.
Interesting decision here.
And then have IP
Activating
with
Mud
Elf.
Dragon in the Swamp. Cannot target. Assume Cooling Dark. Potentially Fire. There's also a chance Bohdan... Okay, it does take the Shiren. I was wondering if he wants to put the Mud Dragon back into his extra deck.
We'll pay 400 life points for that.
Yes, he will. A negligible cost, but something that can come up over the course of a game. Activating Destrudo now, paying half your life points.
Much
Okay.
more significant cost.
We are seeing a
Slightly
Curious
more
now.
significant cost, you will say.
We'd be underneath an
Gives
Elf, so
Bohdan
it can't get
access to
impermed,
cards
can't
like
get Veiled.
Curious here.
Needs to call Mud Dragon Dark first.
Ah, but Destrudo is a worm. As far as I'm aware. No?
It's a
Or is it
dragon, bro.
dragon. Oh, no, it is a dragon. Yeah, you can send it off Dragon Ravine. What am I thinking?
It's its
Yeah,
name.
Going into Curious, the Light
Sounds
Swarming
curious.
Minion.
No, is he going to send Eradicator
Around the Mud Dragon,
or Snow?
he's able to target.
Oh, sure, yeah. Well, you cannot target anything.
Likely
with Sprite
Snow
Elf
here,
points
surely.
too, so Dino was
Yep.
keeping an infinite.
Imagine if he gets
Going
lucky and
for
hits
Fairy Tale Snow.
Eradicator off the free mill.
Not threatening something like Eradicator Epidemic Virus just yet.
Eradicator would crush Dino. Oh, he's top card, bro.
There it is, just milled to
It's
the
the top
graveyard,
card.
sent by
Holy
the
shit.
effect of Curious.
Bohdan's
Now
running
has
good, bro.
access to it.
Apart from the Chupacabra hit. I'm gonna say that.
So the game is a very interesting point. I mean, Dino is looking now at a fully loaded graveyard, the Eradicator in-grave, and the full setup, the Bone.
Ooh, and a gigantic sprite.
Gigantic sprite. Now, this is something we didn't see from Bohdan, I don't believe, in the feature match.
Yeah, very interesting. Potentially just cycling for another Merly here. No, goes for Sprite Jet. Does play a copy of Sprite Smashes. Looking for a little extra.
Blockchain's
Potentially a
level
card you
2s
could
now.
also discard for Nightmare Griffin.
A link
If
2s.
that is what he wants to do.
Make IP. He has to make IP here. Okay, it makes another Elf.
Second Sprite Elf.
Broken. Then we have Snow Smashers. Second Elf. He uses Epheros.
Oh, that is correct. My co-commentator Joe just reminding me that he is locked into level 2, so he cannot make Nightmare Griffin here.
So the Eradicator will stay in grave.
Yeah, nor can he activate Fairy Tale Snow.
Yeah, he's picked
Dino
that up
reminding
himself,
him.
Yeah. Well, in that case, that
In that case, what does this board actually accomplish?
Dino is rushing him because
Obviously
he's
the other
limited
Sprite
in his
Elf is
plays.
very
Fair
strong.
enough, because
Combined
10
with
minutes
the
have been wasted.
Curious
Gone.
will
Or
allow
10 minutes
Bohdan to
have been
send
used.
6 cards, but
I reckon Dino's
I
going to
think
play
he
quite
knows that as
fast because
well.
he understands the
He's-
deck as well.
Doesn't look happy. I mean, the field he's put up doesn't pose much of a threat at the moment.
Way to speak
and the rest, of course, if
it
that Fairy
into
Tale
existence.
Snow goes on the battlefield, it is a super polymerization target with Curious.
We,
And we have an infinite impermanence targeting Sprite Elf, looking to get that out of the way. Doing that in the standby phase, although he did resolve terraforming, so
this does force out the Mirrorly.
yeah. Interesting choice by Dino there. Could have done it in standby phase to prevent
I think he was tilted
Sprite Elf from
by
activating. There is a Tearlament Sullet.
him assuming Bohdan's wasting
Activate
time.
Curious here. Chainlink 2. Sending another top 3. Hoping to see some Tearlaments.
It does
There
so
are
too.
a couple. Exactly what Bohdan wants to see.
Bohdan is playing
Dino
quite
does
sloppy,
have the
and it
super
could be deliberate just to
polarization
tilt
and
his
also field
opponent.
spell at his disposal here.
Because it's triggering Dino. You can tell. You can tell. For sure.
The Pot of Desires for Dino will bring 2 extra cards to the hand and allow him to maybe play through those, though.
Yeah, we've seen Dino play through quite a few interrupts from opposing Tearlament players. There is a Dragostapalia. It's a great target for the
If only
super
Dino
polarization
just activated
the
Imperm
early
on Alf in the
already
standby
used its
phase,
effect. Now we're going for
this would be
Collide.
very, very different. Very different.
Saying go.
So Dino should have been smart about it then.
With the field spell.
He should have just entered battle phase,
Gonna see
and then
the
just play it in the
Sprite
battle
Smashes
phase.
Get activated.
Because Bohdan wouldn't have responded.
Banishing both the Sprite Elf and the field spell.
Alright, now all that's left on Bohdan's field is a Dragostapalia and a Tearlament Harvness in hand. Going Rhino
Right,
hard
this
here.
might get negated.
Dragostapalia.
Oh,
Chain super polymerization.
holy fuck.
Taking
Holy
both
fuck.
the Merly and the Rhino Heart, and this will also
Okay.
allow the Rhino Heart to resolve.
Here we go, chat.
Yeah, Kid Carlos coming to the field here.
Not only will the Rhino Heart resolve, it also may be able to activate in graveyard, depending on what is in Dino's hand.
He will
Actually,
get the
we
effect.
know it's Pot of Desires in its hand, yes.
Yeah, he will get the effect of the Collider Heart there to send back that Kid Carlos.
Yes, Collide Heart triggers if an Aqua you control is sent to the graveyard by a card effect. Checking to see if a card has been searched yet.
And there again, just going straight back into another Kid Carlos.
Okay, now we can use this effect.
Yep.
Bones, all the Bones
Straight
instructions have
back,
activated.
search.
He has got snow though.
Into the Sharon.
He should snow now and book it. He should snow for sure. Okay, he is.
And now Fairy Tale Snow will be activated. Banishing 7 copies.
Snow is
There's
broken,
so
chat.
much that Dino
7
has to play
cards from the
through.
grave, yeah.
It's just a really overwhelming
And then
amount
Dino's gonna pray he mills a monster,
stuff, but that Pot of Desires
a
could
tier element off
represent
his
two powerful extenders here.
monster. Oh, he's got desires as well. This is gonna be an
Potentially
Oh, this is it,
another super
chat.
polymerization, something like that.
He's gonna have to shift the deck. Good
Very
desires.
much like what
He
Dino
needs
was
to draw
doing
into a
before.
monster. Then he needs to mill a tier element. This could be
There
it.
is. Pot of Desires, banishing 10 cards from the top of the deck.
These two
doors.
cards are so important.
Dino is
Two
hoping
poly
for-
is
wow,
busted.
another super polymerization.
Ash is
And
shit.
Ash Blossom and Joy Spring, it looks like. Doesn't help him break
I'm surprised he's playing Ash
Bones
Blossom.
Field here, but
What is Ash Blossom doing in
Well,
this format?
you can, yeah, both those cards require a discard to some extent. Well, Shiren sends, but
Dino would have won this game if he just impermed in the standby
I
phase on
think
the Elf.
great to super polymerize on Bohdan's field right now. I guess you could use the Fairy Tale Snow and the Curious, but that would trigger the Curious.
Send
Instead,
Ash.
going to use that Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring,
Okay.
allowing them to activate Tearlament Shiren.
Sharon can activate.
Wow, sending a Tearlament Shiren.
will allow him to fusion.
Oh, he
another
can make
tier.
he can make the boss monster. He can make the boss monster now.
You know, a little bit lucky there, finding something to do.
What do you mean lucky? I mean a little bit lucky. Come on. A little bit lucky.
See
Come on.
another summon of Kit Carlos here for the 3rd time. Could also see a Kaleido Heart.
You could make a kit. But there's no level 2 melee in the grave.
One
You
other
could
thing
summon
that
it,
Dino
use it to
could
make
go
elf.
for is attempt to make
The main goddess.
a Dragon of the Swamp, make an Abyss Dweller, and then go for a Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, just to clear Bohdan's field.
Just thinking through this play here, he also has the option to fuse with that face down Kit Carlos.
Yep.
And he is.
Yes, so going to make Kaleido Heart here. There it is.
You're gonna get rid of. You get rid of the snow. You're curious.
But,
Quite
will
interesting. You get rid of the fusion.
And it will.
Use this effect now to shuffle one of those cards back to where they came from.
And Dino well aware that shuffling back a Tearlament monster here
Would
would
trigger
not be in his
the
best
field spell.
interest. Now we are activating the Tearlament Harvest.
He can swim to his extra
Doesn't
zone.
get
Monster
anything.
zone.
2 field spells and a Danger Nessie.
There we go. Curious. Return to the extra deck.
Okay. What is he going to do now? This match has to
In
go
a
to
bit of
time.
trouble here.
Bones are favourite to win the match in time because of the link monstery sides.
Bohdan still has plenty of monsters on the field. He will lose 2 of them potentially in the battle phase, but not the ones you really want to get rid of.
Yeah, notably the Kaleido Heart unable to attack over Bohdan's one in defense position. So
Yeah.
seeing them linked into a Dark the Dark Charmer,
Okay.
using that effect to get a Tearlament Merlin, probably going for a...
Using the melee effect.
Oh,
to hit up
man.
Fairy Tale Snow.
Oh,
at the
he's...
top.
The thing is here,
That's
Dino's in a
significant.
position
And
where he
early.
needs to gamble to get any chance of winning this game.
Dino some more.
Otherwise, he's just lost
cards to play
anyway.
with.
So he needs to gamble. He's taking the gamble. It's paying
One thing I'm
off.
aware that Dino is playing
Paying off
is
massively.
Underworld Goddess of the Closed World, a card that would allow him to deal with that.
So he needs to
Kaleido.
summon the TC exclusive so we can draw a card. So his 2 polys live the following turn. Oh, he's playing it right now. Dino's going to make Elf with a level 2 and Dark, most
Very well see that
likely.
here.
Or he can just make Elf with the Fusion and Murray. Oh, all of them.
Yep.
And there we are. Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. An interesting Link 5 monster which allows you to use one of your opponent's monster.
If Dino wins this game, holy fuck, bro.
An
He
extremely
gambled and it paid
powerful
off. And he's playing it
card,
well.
especially when dealing with
He's draw a
monsters that you
card.
can't destroy by battle.
So he has
Card
this.
Blue, and looks like a
His graveyard.
Madness?
So Bonus that Graveyard can't be
Anyway,
used.
there's also a card you can
He's got a
discard for
Super Poly as well.
superpolarization here.
So he can make his own Predaplant.
Certainly Dino looking a little bit more in the driver's seat.
Yeah, send Havis and Predaplant to the graveyard. Because Underworld Goddess won't let the graveyard trigger,
One thing I
right?
do know
It's like
about
Dweller.
Dino having played, with him in
And Snow won't be able to
scene,
work. Oh boy.
He's
Holy
very
fuck,
capable
chat.
when it comes to navigating difficult fields. Generally makes the most of the bad situation.
This game is crazy. This game is crazy, chat. She's up to Wallace. She denies something that includes
Polymerization.
an effect special from the graveyard.
Taking the Harvness and the Driostopelia. Making a Mud Dragon with Fairy Tale Snow. That represents an Abyss Dweller.
This is looking pretty strong now for Dino.
So
He's
Bohdan can activate
slightly
Harvest.
advantage back into his favor.
Did he use it? Did he use it this turn?
Really good
Yeah.
cards.
He used it, right?
Not only can this secure an Abyss Dweller,
Oh, it's game.
Goddess negates card effects that summon from the graveyard, which means Fairy Tale Snow is going to have to banish 14 cards to come back. I
So
don't actually know if Bohdan has enough. He has a lot of
having a
cards
look
in his
now.
graveyard. Probably wants to count them up. There
Yeah,
it is,
Bohdan
Fairy Tale
has.
Snow. Entering the battle phase. Oh, gonna use Fairy Tale Snow to send it to defense mission. Actually, just okay. Yeah, this is correct. Now that I think about it, if he does attack over the Fairy Tale Snow, it could prevent him from being able to resolve the Abyss Dweller. Now we see Abyss Dweller.
he Dwellers
Battle
first.
phase, attack over.
So Snow can't be chained to it in the graveyard, right?
In fact, it has a water monster.
Oh my
as
god! And
material.
Bohdan is
Yeah, he is. He's
conceding
conceding in the
to
first
the
game.
Abyss Dweller. Wow.
Well played, Dino.
Dino taking it up one game.
Well played.
The match. I mean, Bohdan had so much there.
Only has 3,800. Yeah,
that
you're
shows
right.
you that
You're
if
actually
you
all
put
right,
good
Vortex.
cards off
Vortex,
the
good
deck
spot.
with Tearlament,
Good spot,
you're back
Vortex.
in the game.
In fact,
And,
Dino made a
I
mistake.
mean,
He could have
another
made
choice there we haven't seen
Ouroboros to
today
1.
is the Underworld Goddess of the Closed World coming in. Whoa.
It looked incredible.
great.
there.
Dino is one game away from winning the whole
Way to get
tournament
rid of Tearlament
undefeated,
Whiteheart
like what
without
Marcus Patel did at
Sending it to the
Euros,
graveyard
except
by a card effect is
Marcus had
always
one
something
draw
you wanna see in this
across the
matchup.
whole tournament.
Of course,
Dino
Whiteheart
is
as well, being a card very hard to get
undefeated
rid
per
of in
match.
this
He's
matchup
not drawn at all.
without the use of Abyss Dweller.
Clean,
So,
bro.
Hopefully Dino grabbed those cards out of his side deck. He's
This is crazy.
knows exactly what he's doing.
The thing
played
is,
this matchup a few times
Dino was in
today.
a position where he had to
Bohdan
gamble.
also came very prepared
Yes,
for
he
this
did get
late
very
form
fortunate in milling extra
We saw
certain
Bohdan
cards he
play
needed, and then hitting the
another
snow.
tournament
He
deck
got really
with
lucky.
feature
Let's be real, he
as
got
did
really
Dino.
lucky. But he was never winning the following turn if Bohdan got another turn, right? He was never going to win.
One
So he
game
had
for
to
Dino
create his own
Spasovski.
luck.
And again, a game that he lost the die.
The more
roll. He's
opportunity that you create
pretty
yourself,
consistently done quite well on the back.
the
foot
more
there.
likely luck will be on your side.
So,
Okay,
side deck
you're
is
creating
what
your own
Bohdan
luck here,
will be looking at doing.
and it paid
Will he
off.
be going down the Eradicator lines again or not?
It's
I
Dino's
think he might be
tournament, bro.
prioritizing it. Seeing that Dino is on cards like Pot of Desires is a very impactful card, but unlike a deck,
Okay, so he's taking out his ashes now.
deck where
gonna keep his Nibbin.
is always guaranteed to hit.
So Dino's got
Dino's deck is
Ash.
also very,
Sorry,
very
he's got
heavy on
Nibiru.
cards like
He's got
Nibiru,
Ash.
Infinite
No,
Impermanence,
he's got
Sticky
Nibiru,
Crow,
no Ash.
things that you
He's got
can't
Impermanence, he's got
necessarily
Crow.
get out of hand.
He's going to crush this this finals in game 2. Odds are he's going to have something to respond to Bohdan.
I mean,
Cannot
what a
see
fight
Or do you know
he
he
had
could have
so
just
far.
imperm the standby?
The first duel,
But yeah, he could have just done that,
even
bro.
poised a lot of the way through it.
He just could have done that, and that's it.
Dino just kind of turned the tide and
Yeah. I mean, I would advise people watching this to pay close attention to what both these duelists do. This is somewhat of a, I guess, a masterclass in
Bro,
how to
bro,
navigate
even though there's been
fields
mistakes,
such as Bohdan's.
this is the best finals of the tournament. Sorry, this is the best match of the tournament, chat. This is the best match.
They absolutely do. Well, they know more than.
Some of the matches we watched are embarrassing.
That's why so much can be done from just watching
Some of the
them
matches
play.
we watched didn't make sense. Some have been decent. You know, it's like most tournaments. So, and here we go. The finals.
Dino now only one game away from becoming the Yu-Gi-Oh! Oceanic champion. Bohdan needing to come back to try and push for that title.
All right, and I assume Bohdan
This
will
doesn't
go
have the
first
same
again.
feeling as winning Euros, though.
So
Okay,
some good match.
in before, Dina's got Nibiru. All right, I'm going to say now. Okay, he's got Nibiru for sure.
Again, we see Apollo Desires. In the
Oh, we
opening
see Lava
hand.
Golem.
You also see a lava golem, starting with Brandon High.
Lava Golem, bro. He's got Lava Golem.
Revealing Tearlament Shower.
There's frogs
sending the
coming out
defense
again.
Frog, and then going into a Kit Carlos. Like, I also see a DD Crow in Dino's hand, I believe.
I can't believe it. Chat, I can't believe it, you know.
Yeah, it is
Throwing
a
the
DD Crow. Yeah.
Sharon. Devastating move there, making that Brandon in High Spirits really cost Bohdan. 3 cards left in hand. No, 4 cards left in hand, sorry.
Does get to use the Albion the Charlotte Dragon again. Put in a Branded and High Spirits to the graveyard, placing itself on the bottom of the deck and drawing 1 card.
So not only does DD Crow not allow you to resolve the effect of Tearlament Sharon there, it also means
Because
that
Dino
Tearlament
had
Sharon
very
is
little
activated, so that is
game one, right?
fusion summon
That
Dino's
Pot of
gonna have to
Desires.
deal with.
He does have the
Drawing a
spell,
Super
which
Poly
will get him
and a
down
monster
into
for
the Tearlament
his
lines.
Tier Element.
There's another
Send to
copy
the
of
graveyard
Sharon.
so we can summon it mill free.
We're going to go Tearlament Sharon, sending a Tearlament Harvness. Sending the top 3 cards of Boden's deck to the graveyard. Doesn't hit a Tearlament, but that Harvness will be able to activate here. Seeing Dino's hand, looks to be Tearlament Trap card, Lava Golem, Pot of Desires, and I think a Shiren.
Bohdan did lose game one in top
I
4,
mean,
and then won the
impactful.
next 2 games.
You're going to be feeling pretty good. Like,
Depending on what Bohdan aims to construct here.
I'm sure Bohdan will be aware as well of the Nibiru the Primal Being. He would have caught word in that other match we saw Dino in.
Maybe best to play it a little bit safe. Or not. Bohdan also showed that his deck can just continue through a lot of bad situations.
He is just going to normal summon them early, which will send the top free card. Oh,
Nope.
Decide
no,
not to
using
mill
the effect.
free.
I think choosing not to play around something like Tearlament Harvness really doesn't want Dino to have that card. Isn't a Sprite Elf?
No, he's going to mill 8. He's
Now
going to chain
activates
block.
Carlos.
Put a high sprite,
Ah,
plays
I mean,
round
under that
cherries
logic, I
on
guess.
kit 2. That's cute.
Being told that, yes, Merly must be summoned, then Kit Carlos is sent, so it cannot be summoned to that arrow.
Well, that's
Gamma.
a few hits.
Gamma.
Well,
Why is
Harvness
Gamma
has been used. I don't
in
think
Bohdan's
Bohdan
deck
has another Tearlament in
going
hand, so
first? Why
Sonic
is
is
Gamma
the only thing that can activate here.
in his deck?
Trying to get it
Not
up.
The
an
DD
ideal
Crow?
set of cards sent to the graveyard there for Bohdan.
I guess high risk, high reward here,
Run
it feels
up
like.
the one you probably didn't want to hit there.
He doesn't have any legal targets currently. You cannot activate it, even knowing you will have one in hand on the resolution of a card like Sullick. It's like maybe that's what they're talking about right now.
Dino just wants to ensure that plays fast.
You know,
Yeah.
well aware of that interaction.
There's only 30 minutes and 50 seconds on the clock, chat.
Harvness and Shiren been used, so Merely the only remaining access Bohdan has to a fusion summon here. And Dino still 4 cards in hand, one of which a Pot of Desires, adding a Tearlament Harvness off of the Sullick.
If Bohdan prepared for this tournament,
Is
like
it
in
Bohdan's
terms
turn?
of testing, he would have absolutely annihilated
Definitely,
this.
I mean,
But you can just
well,
you can
he
tell
was
he's a bit
responsible
rusty in
on the
terms he's not really
field
playing
to
as
allow,
much,
the Lava Golem
which is
to
normal,
be
right?
used.
Oh, yeah.
But it just shows you how
Point
good he
better
is to
Tearlament
get to the
Trap card.
final, right? Shows you how good he is to get to the
No, Dino
final,
has a
not
Shiren in hand.
knowing the whole format.
Bohdan potentially wants to play around it. Go for the same play he went for in game 1, summoning Gigantic Sprite and then summoning Jet. Making sure to see that Jet is still in the deck.
This is such a weak play, surely.
Gigantic Sprite. Obviously a unique card in the way that you can use a Link 2 monster as part of its material.
Here comes a jet.
There you go, Sprite Jet. Searching for that Sprite Smashes.
No, it's not
Or
searching any
not,
smashes.
Perhaps
definitely
already
playing
has it in
around.
hand.
It's obviously face down.
It's also potentially playing around the cards like Harvness, maybe even thinking about ciphering Gear Gamma.
Harvness would have already activated.
What is going
Dino
on?
with 5 cards in hand, staring down Sprite Elf and 1 Spell and Trap card.
Even
No
though
fairy
Dino's
tokens
got
on the
Lava Golem, it means
But then also
he's not going to need to
heavily
use it.
around the Lava Golem.
Yeah. We know there is a Tearlament Harvness in Bohdan's hand.
There's no snow.
And yeah, sending the early draw.
This harness is so
sending the
important
Harvness
for
as well.
Bohdan.
Looking good already for Dino.
Man, here comes a kit. A free kit, basically. When I say free, it's not. Well, it's not even really a free one, but it's. You have to make kit here, bro.
Thinking about what to summon here.
Kit.
Potentially playing around a super polymerization, but currently would not be particularly
Who
good
cares if you super
for
polys?
Bohdan.
Going into the kick, Carlos.
Carlos
Okay.
activating its effect.
This will get melee, or whatever it's called, the level 2. No dweller, insane. I guess it's required for sprite smashes. You need to banish sprite name in the graveyard.
Fetching a
Dino the
Tearlament
chessman.
Rhino Heart. Dino Spasovski edging ever closer to an advantage in game 2. Can activate the Sprite Elf here, I imagine.
Is allowing the sorry for the Merly to come out.
And there's another Tearlament Merly, so Bohdan does hit.
Here's Merly and the field spell.
Summon.
The field
He
spell,
also still has the Pot of Desires in hand, though. Something
pretty
so
decent.
powerful
Lava Golem.
in a situation like this.
He hasn't normal summoned actually, has he?
Both
So
players trying
the
to
Lava
leverage
Golem's going
any
to be played.
advantage they can get.
We're going to go into the Collider Heart. Bohdan trying to prevent the kick Carlos from being activated.
Well, Carlos will at least be able to search here. I believe Bohdan is doing this before the Carlos.
Can send the cards to the graveyard. Yeah.
Exactly. Do not want to get. That being said, we saw Dino summon what? Kid Carlos 3 times in one turn? 2 times in one turn last time? He may be thinking, I'll see you again. Now do you think it's a good time to activate that Lava Golem, or at least summon it? There it is.
I do think so.
Taking out the Sprite Elf and the Merly.
Yeah, Lava Golem coming down.
Trigger the fusion.
Another card that has featured throughout the weekend.
And there's the Pot of Desires. Because Dino does have, I believe, Meta Noise in his hand.
He is banishing 10 off the top.
40 minutes is not
Into-
enough for a finals.
There's a Hardness
And
and an Infinite Impermanence. 2 pretty good draws, I would say.
They're okay. The imperm's not great.
There we go. Setting 1, setting 2. It's going to pass it back to Bohdan,
What is going on this game?
who draws for turn.
Bohdan takes 1,000. Bohdan could win now. Golem does not trigger any tears, right? Through summoning
Taking
mechanic.
1,000 damage
card
there
effect.
for the Lava Golem, which will
Dino.
trigger the Hardness. That's
Dino showcasing one of the cooler interactions with Lava Golem. It makes your
Very cool.
opponent activate an effect, getting you
Oh man.
well, nothing off the top, but another Tearlament on
Cool,
field.
cool buy. Foolish imperm. So unlucky. So unlucky.
Unlucky there for Dino Spasovski.
But game 1 he did get very lucky,
showing
so
another
it,
cool interaction.
variance
that Dino
balancing out
has
here.
obviously researched.
I think I told him about that one actually. He was like, whoa, that's cool. Back when we were looking at this deck. Let's see what Bohdan has.
We're at a very tense point of this match.
Second field spell. That is very good.
I mean, it's okay. It just searches you any Tearlament that you want. I mean,
Getting
it's
Tearlament
alright.
Rhino Heart.
You play 12. Bohdan probably has a crazy way to win in time. Looks like he is stalling like crazy. He does have a very good way to win in time. He's a link
Activating
2.
Danger
We saw him
Tsuchinoko.
win it with it in time in his feature match
little bit risky
round
here.
4.
Hitting the Danger Tsuchinoko. Activating its effect. Summoning to the field.
He won in time in the semifinals.
I'm just finding myself watching this final
Yeah, I'm very
unfold.
entranced.
I'm intrigued. We're at a
I guess one option Bohdan had instead of going for this line was to go to the battle phase first and attack over both the Tearlament monsters, or at least bait out potentially something Dino has in the form of a Tearlament trap card. Of course, you must control a Tearlament monster to activate them. Instead, going for the Tearlament Rhino Heart here.
there
Infinite
is the
Impermanence.
impermanence there, yeah.
Does
Also-
Bohdan have another way to play, though?
It does also stop Bohdan from activating the card in the column of the impermanent.
But it turns off his smashes at a set,
Keep in mind.
which we all know it smashes because he didn't search from Jet. And it's not in the graveyard.
Link Summon. For Dark the Dark Charmer.
This might get
Last
super
card for
polyed.
Dino, I can't tell if it was a Silic or a
This might
Meta
get super
Noise.
polyed, chat. Okay.
Ooh, it is a Silic,
yeah.
targeting the Dark Charmer. Will also allow Dino to send a monster
He needs to get rid of the dark.
No Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard.
Okay, he's summoning the boss boy, big boy.
Going into his own Collider Heart.
Wow.
And he's gonna get rid of the dark. Are we gonna trigger? Bro, you're gonna trigger
This is quite
the
interesting. Doing the play that someone else did to
field
him,
spell.
shuffling back a Tearlament monster, but in this case, both cards on Dino Spasovski's
How
field
this
would
comes
be,
down from Bohdan.
I think, advantageous should they be destroyed.
Oh my
Bohdan
god.
responding
Wow.
well.
This
They have
is
the-
going to a
they
game
have the
3 now, chat.
Scrudo
This has been confirmed game 3.
And 2 Tearlaments off the top of the deck.
Yeah,
I must
Dino
admit, that is the
scoops.
best case
There we go,
scenario for
and-
Bohdan, and we are just seeing Dino
Pick up his cards.
pick up his
and
cards.
we are-
Destrudo
This is a
and-
good time to
wow.
scoop. Now,
we go
what
to
Dino should
game
do in this
number
game,
3 in the final. Bohdan Temnyk taking that one out.
what he should do
We
is
know
he
it's
should
going either
make
way at
Bohdan
any
go
point.
first.
Same as game 1.
Yep.
both
Now,
of
you
these
think I'm
still
crazy,
why they are
but he
in
should
the
make
final.
Bohdan go
I think
first.
Bohdan may have potentially just gotten a little more lucky than Dino. The Dino's Harvest found 0 Tearlaments.
Bohdan might. I think Bohdan's going to
found
put in.
2 and a Destrudo.
Bohdan might
Exactly.
put in that
Yes,
The kinds of
link 2.
cards
You
he
see the
needed
link
to
2
have
in
that
his extra deck?
situation.
In his side deck?
Definitely in, game
That's
1
going
as well,
in.
There were some from Dino as well. We're showing
Bohdan has
why,
to put it in with
there is a
5
tiny bit
minutes
of
on the
luck,
clock.
in these decks, like
Yeah.
any strategy where you have to rely on what you send off the top of the deck.
One thing of note, I think I just saw Bohdan put in Winged Dragon of Ra Sphere mode, or at least pull it aside. One thing I know about Dino Spasovski, though, is that he often ends on 2 monsters. Could potentially come back to bite Bohdan if that is the case.
Dino needs to go
See
be
what
second.
happens.
He needs to be going second.
So I think the first time we've seen Dino go first on a feature match. This is what it all comes down to.
Bohdan's asking
Both
how long on
players
time,
one
I
game.
think. He's asking a judge something.
The winner
now
of
he's
the
putting
next
it in.
game will be decided.
And become the official.
Oceanic
He's asking the judge
Yu-Gi-Oh!
something.
Championship winner of 2022.
Already taken home some
Oh.
absolutely amazing prizes.
I don't think
course.
Bohdan can ever lose this final now.
Everyone wants
Because
to
if
be
he
the
if
champ.
he's made to go first, he'll just win in time
Everyone wants
because
to
his
be
turn will
also
take longer than
taking
4
home
minutes.
that amazing trophy, which you will see
Or
in the prize given post this match.
Dino has no way to do any damage
Tensions are very
going
high.
first.
Everyone is deciding what do I need.
Good job,
Swing is
Corey.
in my favor.
1 locals, yeah, with Tearlament. Good job.
Looks like Dino has decided on his deck composition. Bohdan is still weighing up his options.
Why does Dino not play the bug? I don't know. Imagine knowing that they don't play any time cards. Because Bohdan wins then. Bohdan just wins. Bohdan's always winning in
Both
time in this
now
game.
Shuffling up, ready for the 3rd game of this final.
God, and what a weekend it's been. Feels somewhat sad to see the final game commence, you know? This is the last time we're going to see people shuffle up.
It's going to be sad the way this
But I
game
mean, what a
wins.
day and what a weekend.
Whoever
it
wins
has
this game,
been here in Auckland,
It's going to be
New
sad to
Zealand.
see.
We've
It has to be
experienced
Bohdan though.
some
It just has to be
awesome
Bohdan.
plays, some, unique decks on stream, and everyone here today has been playing in a good spirit. And it's nice to see
Bohdan's
so
still
many
siding?
duelists in person again in the Southern Hemisphere.
They have indeed, yeah. Great spirits today. Great spirits. I think Bohdan just here making absolutely sure the deck is what he wants.
Didn't
Has been
Dino
a little
concede
more
at
card, but
720?
Talking to Dino says hasn't been particularly
Did Dino
effective.
concede at 720? I'm not
See if it
exactly
does some
sure.
work.
I hope they get an extension. I hope they give an extension.
Shuffling up now. One game. It all comes down to this.
All right, and Dino getting to go first.
Like,
All important.
does
final
Dino?
match
I
here.
wonder if Dino plays a time card.
Looks like quite a hand from Dino here.
Double nib.
It looks like he's actually got 2 copies of Nibiru.
Double nib and desires. Send a nib.
Yeah,
Send a nib.
interesting that he kept it in going first, but something that
Send a
could
nib. Bro.
definitely be just as effective, especially against a deck like Bohdan's, which plays a lot more.
Why aren't you sending it?
such
Okay,
as the
just to
dangers.
guarantee the fusion.
Starting off with a Sharon.
should trigger him early.
Not really hitting anything very effective there, but
Yeah, ideally you wouldn't want
Dino's
to
12-0,
use the
and
Shadow
he
on
loses
field
like
to
this.
preserve having a level 4 monster.
the Kit Carlos will be summoned, and
Adding Tearlament Rhinoheart. Will we see a Droll and Lockbird here?
Doesn't
No.
seem like he has it.
Doesn't look like he has it. That means Dino is free to
He might start with
use that
Desires
Pot
now.
of Desires. He has in his hand. He's drawn Pot of Desires, I think, every game, hasn't he?
Okay, he's doing this first
I believe so.
just because he doesn't want to banish Snow. Okay.
He's
gonna
Carlos, summoning
Chairlink 1
Tearlament
kit,
Rhinoheart.
Chairlink 2,
Now 5 cards from the top of the
Rhino
deck
Heart.
will be sent to the graveyard.
or not.
Another copy of Super Polymerization.
Oh, his
There's a
Snow.
Fairy Tale Snow.
Okay, so
Wow.
the variance is actually
Really,
favoriting
having
Dino
used
for his
effect
poor,
already, but the Fairy Tale
hand.
Snow, you gotta feel good about that.
the poor hand he had.
Again, Dino not playing something like Curious
It was
Electrum,
520 or
meaning
something? Okay,
guaranteed
my
that
bad.
that card
Wasn't it 5 something? Okay,
ends up
my
in his
bad.
Graveyard.
My bad.
He does get a send off Rhino Heart here, so
You will get another fusion summon.
Then yeah, then yeah, he took
Now
a
with
fair
the
amount
Fairy
of
Tale
time.
Snow engraved, does not need to make something like Mud Dragon of the Swamp to get to that Abyss Dweller. We all know matters a lot in this matchup.
the option is still there though for the Mud Dragon to potentially keep this Fairy Tale Snow live.
That is true.
Bones there like,
Could be what,
please don't have any
40
time
minutes.
enhanced cards.
Going for that.
Recycling the DD Crow back to the bottom of the deck. There's Mud Dragon in the swamp.
Now we're going to see that Pot of Desires draw Dino 2 fresh cards. He's probably looking for something like a Paleozoic Dynamiscus or another impactful trap card here
Maybe Crow.
to add to his... Wow, drawing into a Tearlament and a DD Crow.
I mean, those are 2 cards
Crow's
you
alright.
definitely want to see off of a Pot of Desires.
Once again, seeing 2 fantastic cards of Pot of
And having
Desires.
Snow
This
in the
time Dino
grave.
going first.
But it might not be enough though
Wow,
still.
that DD Crow plus an Abyss Dweller plus... If that is a Sullic or a Meta Noise.
He needs to activate
Now
Snow
going for
here.
the Fairy Tale Snow.
What a mill. You might make what's it called, Time Thief?
Using that to make the Abyss Dweller.
Put Dweller in attack mode. Both of them have an increase of
Does this because
500.
he wants to keep a Tearlament monster on the field, making sure his
Oh
trap cards
man.
live.
Oh man.
Bohdan will probably pick up on that as well. He will telegraph that sort of
20
play.
seconds left.
Absolutely.
Bohdan can just chill if he wants to. It doesn't really matter.
So the one
Because
card this
it's
would
till
be
the end of the
linked to would be
turn.
Super Polymerization.
got
from
Brennan
Bohdan, as
Fusion
both monsters are
and
warped.
Gamma.
He has drawn it as well.
And
He
Super
also
Poly.
has a
Bohdan
Cyclone
wins.
Gamma, I believe, in his hand. So this is
Bohdan
very
wins, chat.
strong.
Oh wow, and not leading on the Super Polymerization.
It's not Brennan Fusion, but
That
Bohdan
allows
wins.
Dino to have an opportunity to
Bohdan wins.
activate Abyss Dweller.
As long as he doesn't play into the Nibiru,
Maybe see a copy there
Bohdan
of
wins.
the Cyclone Gamma in his hand, which will deal with the Abyss Dweller.
That's what Dino is clearly playing around. Do you think that Bohdan has realized that he is able to Super Polymerization a Rhino Heart? and
this
an
is
Abyss
disgusting, man.
So there
DD
is the
Crow.
DD Crow again.
Cannot use the Cypher Gamma, I believe, here, or else the Abyss Dweller will just clean this game up.
Can he gamma this?
Repeating the play pattern from game 1,
He gammas this,
I
right?
believe game 2, using the DD Crow here. Bohdan really thinking
Dino
this
doesn't have
one
enough
through.
cards to do a Snow.
Activating the Cypher
He
Gamma.
does go for it, yeah.
And if you're Dino, do you just use the Abyss Dweller right now?
Yeah, you probably do.
I think Bohdan has
Detach
telegraphed
his
Super
Snow.
Polymerization. Could be holding it strategically here.
You should use this Dweller. He hasn't. He missed it. Bohdan wins, chat. There's no way Bohdan loses with Super Poly in his hand as
Dino
well.
does need to be careful here. He is open to that Super Polymerization.
Oh, careful, Bohdan. Don't put the extra deck monster in your deck.
This is crazy.
So he will get the kick Carlos.
This is crazy.
And
Now you're
he
activating the
does
Abyss
activate
Dweller.
the Abyss Dweller.
I think if Bohdan had started on Super Polymerization, this game would be over.
It's over anyway. It's over anyway, bro. It's over, bro. There's time.
In this case,
The
both
clock is
Rhino
0.
Heart and the Abyss Dweller waters
It's
with different
over anyway.
types.
Bonus is main phase 1.
Could
Damage
invade
is
Mud
being
Dragon of the
inflicted
Swamp.
this game. Dino loses, Bohdan wins. Bohdan is the Continental Oceania champion
Dino has
of
a lot to contest with
2022.
here.
He adds another trophy
If
to his
that Abyss Dweller
title.
resolves, Bohdan's deck gets a lot
To his resume,
more
bro.
difficult.
I think this will be, apparently this is the third one he'd win. He's gonna win.
Tension's very high here.
I'm unsure the why he slow
Yeah.
rolled the Gamma,
I
but
think we
maybe
really
he
have to think
wanted.
what they're playing
He
through
thought his
picture.
opponent would
These
Dweller
duelists are
first.
going,
So
like,
it would if he
toe-to-toe,
passed
like, they are
to
obviously
Crow,
showing why
his
they are
opponent then
deserving
might have
of
chained
being in
Dweller,
this final.
which means then he could Gamma the Dweller and let the Crow resolve.
So Abyss Dweller has now resolved.
So Bohdan no longer will be able to use graveyard effects.
Meanwhile,
He's not
Dino
asking
is
for that,
fully
he's just
able to
double-checking the
activate
timings,
anything
I
in the
think.
graveyard that he
But he knows them.
wants to use.
What,
Bohdan
draw
here
phase?
going through
Stop
a
it.
long thought process here. I mean,
We're in
there's so much
main
at stake.
phase.
Asking for some card text.
We're in
here.
main phase.
Like he wants to read Tearlament meta noise.
Yeah, Bohdan can
It's
enter
like,
battle phase because because
sure
life is
understands
as
exactly
equal.
how that card works.
Yeah.
It's
Looks a
damage.
little bit like
It's
a
change
Mega
damage
Boot,
until the end of the
then
turn.
Sends a card to the graveyard.
So
And reading, I
as
believe,
long as
Tearlament Seal
Bohdan,
well.
if Bohdan
As we
has
said,
more
Bohdan
damage,
picking up on the fact that Dino
more life than
used that
at the end of the
Fairy Tale
turn
Seal,
than
leaving the
his
Rhino
opponent, he
outfield, so
wins.
very much telegraphing that is
Which
some
is
kind of Tearlament
exactly what's happening because of
trap card.
the cards Dino has. But Boden's asking the judge now about time.
And just for those watching at home, the time in the top corner was incorrect, so do not worry too much about that. We have plenty of time left in this final.
What? Do we? Do we?
Seeing terraforming here.
How long we got?
Bohdan has full access to
How long we got then? So
the Tearlament part of his deck.
So we've been watching this match with the incorrect time, and you think that was all right?
So again, the Tearlament
Come on,
world
bro.
spell there.
Not to mention the
Boden's
Cyframe
getting nibbed this
Diagamma
game.
and the Cyframe Driver. Completely usable as Link or Synchro material, depending on what Bohdan is playing.
But the thing is, Boden's not going to expect Nibiru because
Bohdan
Dino
has
went
a shot in
first.
hand, just deciding, maybe calculating possible damage even.
Does he think he can capitalize and
I wonder how long left
move
is on the
this
clock.
game? Maybe
That's what we need to know.
polymerization.
I'd say things are looking pretty
Okay,
good
now
for
this is going to be the
Bohdan here.
fifth summon after this resolves.
They are, although without the graveyard. We know Dino has 2 Nibiru in hand, remember?
5 monsters now on the field.
Well, this is a pretty good time to activate it. Of course, because Abyss Dweller has resolved, none of these cards will activate when sent by an
Yeah,
effect.
Nibiru's coming down, chat. Boden played into it.
You know, definitely thinking about it.
You have to nib. You have to nib. Why are you slow rolling it? You have to nib. What? Oh, okay.
Overlay
Continue.
now.
Oh, I thought he tried to enter battle phase.
Looking for his own copy of Abyss Dweller.
He sided it out for the time card. I think Dino's calling him up on it. Like it isn't legal. If it
Essentially being told that because he did attempt to Xyz summon, if he has a legal target, he must commit.
he hasn't got one.
Judges talking.
He hasn't got one. And the judge is going to come over and pick up the extra deck, I'm sure. I think Boden is really nervous. And I think I've clocked why. He's shaking. Like, see, the judge is going to check.
It's like checking the extra deck to see potentially if there is a legal summoning target.
Why would Boden lie in the final? But I don't blame the judge for checking, but still. Boden's shaking. I think he's got some warnings before in the tournament. So maybe the judges are on him, and he's just trying to be extra cautious.
Yeah, just giving up the extra deck here. Just to
Oh my god, Boden's a very good player, but it looks like he's all over the place. No, what I think it is, Vortex, is I think the judges have been like probably warning him during the tournament, and he's probably on his final warning, and he doesn't want to inflict a game loss, and he's probably stressed out, and he's just very nervous, you know.
Yeah, so
And there is the Nibiru. The
This is
primal
huge.
being, taking
This
out
is absolutely
monsters.
huge.
And nothing in the graveyard will activate
defense.
due to the Abyss Dweller. I mean, yet again, quite another quite impactful Nibiru there.
Do we have
by
a
Dino.
Tearlament monster in hand? We're activating Rhino Heart. Or are we just calculating
Dweller, bro. Boden forgot about Dweller.
exactly how large this
Oh,
Nibiru
they're working
token
out
is
the
going to
token.
be?
Or even just checking the summon count even.
And then Dino's going to activate.
Definitely 5 monsters. There were
Rhino
5
Heart.
monsters on Boden's field, remember?
But the Ciphering Gamma, does that count as a...
Yes,
Yeah.
Nibiru only counts the number of monsters,
that
summoned,
is
not
correct,
the
yeah.
number of summons. Actually, we know the other card in hand is another Nibiru, so we cannot activate the Rhino Heart here.
Man, this is crazy.
Can Boden continue?
Still a few cards in hand.
One of the things that Dino must be wary of is the fact that that token is fairly large. Has to find a way to get rid of it, or could end up costing him the game.
He does still have the Fairy Tale Snow in the graveyard. But
Yes, but a
that
light
will
and a
not be
light
dealing
does
with
not
it.
make... Ah, then we're going for super polymerization here.
Oh, Boden might win in
Interesting
time then.
choice.
Going into Garura.
What about Reno Heart? Didn't Dino?
There's no
Tries to
cards left
activate
in
it.
Boden's hand. We can just Fairy Tale
Oh,
Snow
he's
here.
He's got.
That's exactly what Dino is looking to do.
He has to banish his
Deciding
Nib in
to
his hand.
banish. I assume the other Nibiru in his hand isn't doing anything at this point.
He has to banish his Nib in his hand.
Actually coming down into quite a simplified game state.
Oh,
Fairy Tale Snow.
this
Dino
is
not wanting to take any
crazy.
damage here, potentially
The defense is big, right? It's 24.
Wary of
fearing some kind of go to time, and he's doing. Both players now just drawing.
Oh my God, he
cards.
wins.
Harvness is
Dino wins.
actually could be game determinative here. Making something like Dark the Dark Charmer. Summoning your opponent's Kit Carlos and getting a search off of it. There we go.
he does.
Normal
He
summons the
does have the
Harvness.
Harvness.
What a
He
draw.
will go into Dark the Dark Charmer here.
Takes the
Oh
Kit
my
Carlos.
God, Boden, unlucky, bro.
This is
Holy fuck.
huge here for Dino.
Just checking to see if that is the best target. No, it takes the Albion.
He just wants to attack over it.
There we go.
And he,
The
yeah.
handshake comes
Wow.
out. Dino is our Oceanic Yu-Gi-Oh!
If
champion.
Boden just went battle phase attack,
Unbelievable.
he
We
wins.
will be following Dino. He will be packing up his cards, coming straight to us for the winners interview. Congratulations,
I think we're
Dino.
going straight to Dino, actually. I can't remember what the thing was. Oh, they're coming straight to us? All right. Bring him in.
Boden just enters battle phase
Dino
to attack
Spasovski
over the Dweller.
did not lose a single
He would have won.
He has come here today.
The Boden should just enter battle phase with the 3 monsters on board.
14
Do the bit of
and
damage.
with
Then set
a
his board up
pure
main phase 2
Tearlament deck.
with Super Poly as a
Lots of
defense
hand traps.
card,
I mean, it paid
and
off
then he'll
today.
he'll just win.
We saw that was quite methodical play. I mean, both players were in that game. We didn't know. I mean, there was multiple points in there. I did
Now
not
Boden's
know what
annoyed,
way that was
obviously,
gonna
by the
go.
judge. I
I
think
think that was
that's
one
why
of
the
the
interaction there.
closest games we've seen
On
this
stream,
entire
I mean,
weekend, and it really came down to the last breath of interaction.
well done as well to Bohdan Temnyk. Again, a great showing in a major tournament. We all know his name, and you know he's played very well today. We saw that great combo. On
Why are you siding
stream.
out, bro? Who gives a
Dark
fuck
Dragon.
now? You won the tournament. There's no more matches.
So well done to Dino.
Bro, if you win the
Or
tournament,
Dino again.
don't side out.
We cannot understand that enough.
And on a deck like Tearlament, not a small task. It is a very difficult deck to play optimally the entire time through the tournament.
What a tournament.
What a tournament indeed.
And it's great to see, as we said,
This is Boden's
Physical
fourth
Yu-Gi-Oh!
final.
Back in action in New Zealand and the Oceanic region.
If there was Worlds invites, Boden would have got an
Kind
invite
of
to
trying to hold
Worlds.
back their excitement, of course.
Man, Boden has it so
Proud.
easy over there, bro. He has it so easy over there.
Local New Zealand player taking out Oceanics in his home territory. Here he comes.
Congratulations again to Dino. We're going to bring him on in for his winners interview. Second.
You can't believe it. Look how happy he is.
There we go. Dino.
And here he is.
Hello, hello.
Congratulations. Well done. You are the 2022 Yu-Gi-Oh! Oceanic champion. How do you feel?
I don't feel like I deserve that.
That was the skin of your teeth. You made it through that.
I mean, you hung in there. I mean, your record speaks for
So
itself.
close. Holy
14-0
shit.
for the tournament.
Final without
Yeah,
Mystic
that
Mine was
was
hard.
crazy.
I know, Angel.
Yeah, that was
Can you believe it?
tough. That was all on. Like, props to Bohdan. He played so well. That was completely on. He sided out his Dweller for his Agave Dragon for burn condition time, which is why he didn't have it there at the end.
Wow,
that would have
okay.
that would have been
What happened
game. And then he got a little greedy, and
Also, if he
played
kept
into
his Dweller in, he
exactly
would have
nib.
won.
That combination of
Because if
he got
plus
nibbed, he
Abyss
changed his
did its
Dweller.
Work.
Yeah, that's what we theorized in testing for the Tear Mirror. You just need to stick the Dweller, and then you've got your Zeus, you've got your Nibs to clear the board and reset.
Yeah, one notable thing, I don't know if it necessarily came up in a way you noticed, but Bohdan had the super polymerization in his hand from the start of the turn.
I
Yeah,
can't believe
He
Bohdan
potentially
lost with
taken out the
Gamma,
Abyss Dweller and
Poly,
the Rhino Heart with it.
the branded
Yeah,
card.
but then he plays really strangely if I've got Tear in hand, and I sequence my turn in such a strange way that like I could have.
You definitely showed off the fact that, you know, you had Fairy Tale Snow and you used it to make the Abyss Dweller instead of the Rhino Heart.
It was
Maybe
milling the
you
snow
don't have
that
a
made him win.
relevant backer, which I think you did.
Let's
right?
be
You had
real.
a
He milled the snow and
Venomous.
made him win game 3.
I had Celiac, which
Celiac.
was just negate, so that would have beaten the Dweller. But again, like, yeah, I guess it was down to him. He just decided not to super poly my board.
Quite fascinating that he decided to side out the Abyss Dweller in the Tearlament mirror.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't a rush.
Anyway, congratulations.
Yeah, he could've just
We will
super
be
polyed the
back
board
to
for Mud
present the
Dragon.
award to Dino.
Yeah.
Right?
We'll be back shortly.
No, Super Poly board into the TC exclusive.